Hello, dear ones. Father Peter John coming to you from All Saints Orthodox Church in Bloomington, Indiana. I'm at the bell tower again today. Christ is in our midst. I want to talk just briefly about the epistle and the gospel reading today. But I want to begin with a quote by Saint Sophrony of Essex. He says, "The real Christian can be recognized by humility and kindness. If pride is at work in us," he says, "or fault-finding or unfriendliness, then the Lord stands remote from us." The epistle today, Paul the apostle is writing to the Corinthians in his second letter, and he tells them that we are to be holy, right? That we are collectively the temple of the living God. He says, "As God has said, I will dwell in them and walk among them. I will be their God and they will be my people." So there is this idea then, if we look at St. Paul and we listen to St. Sophrony, there's this idea that we're supposed to conduct ourselves not just as people who have kind of a divine get out of jail free pass by being Orthodox Christians, but that we are called to be transformed, that we're called to be stones worthy to be part of this temple of the living God. Jesus in the gospel today gives us his version of the golden rule. As you would have men do to you, so also do to them. You see, so even there we look, the way that we interact with other people, the expectation is that we are going to act like Christians, that we are going to act like those who have Christ abiding in us, that we have put on Christ in the waters of baptism, that we have received the seal of the gift of the Holy Spirit in holy chrismation, that in fact we are living stones of the temple of God. And so we're encouraged by St. Paul to remember this, to recommit ourselves to this, and we're challenged and charged by Christ to live it out in such a way that people will see, right? They'll see that in the way that we treat them, that we are followers of his, that we are being called by his name and called to his purpose. So brothers and sisters, I encourage you today, let's all recommit ourselves to be living stones of the temple of God, being transformed continually into the likeness of Christ, being set apart, which is what holiness means, being sanctified, which again, that's what holiness means, and becoming, as St. Peter says in his epistle, partakers of the divine nature by our participation in the life of the church and receiving the grace of God that comes through the sacramental life. Christ is in our midst. He is and ever shall be.